guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Peace Jones. Don't forget to like this video, to comment on this video, and to subscribe to this channel. Okay, you guys, I cover three main topics on this channel. Number one being travel with an emphasis on solo travel. You guys check out all of my travel vlogs, my travel suggestions, and my travel tips. I have a whole playlist on travel, okay? Number two is all things dating, and number three is all things healing, evolving, and becoming the best you. So this video is going to tie into my travel series, okay, you guys? So I'm gonna give you 5 different things that a good quality itinerary should include. In case you guys don't know, I do have an itinerary business over on Instagram. It is called Itinerary Tea. You guys, please go check it out for all of your domestic travel needs. That means within the United States or any of the US territories. I do create customized travel itineraries, and trust me, I am a pro at this, okay? I literally have traveled all over the United States and internationally, and I know where to go, okay? So hit me up on Instagram, go follow me, and check out my content, all right? So let's get right into it. Number one, for a good itinerary, you are going to want a variety of options, whether that means things to do, places to eat, things to explore. You literally want a variety of options, because guess what? I know one thing that happened after COVID was a lot of restaurants were listed on Google as still being open, but in real life they weren't, right? So imagine you're like, oh, let's go to Mike's Crab Shack, and you're so excited and you're planning your food and you're planning your drink, and then you get there and it's like, whoa, this place doesn't exist anymore. They're closed permanently, whatever it may be. If that was the only option you had, now you have to scramble. And 9 times out of 10, when you're scrambling, you're not gonna find something as good of quality or to your liking as you would if you already had a list of other options, that you could choose from. And these options would have been pre-planned, pre-selected, so that you know you'd be just as excited about going to check that place out as you were Mike's Crab House, right? So have a variety of options. That way, if anything happens, maybe it's an outdoor restaurant and it starts raining, or maybe it is a scuba diving exploration and you happen to get sick and you don't feel like doing a physical activity like that, right? Make sure you have things just lined up so that you don't really have to worry about rushing, scrambling, trying to find something else, or just sitting around wasting time on your trip bored because you're like, well, dang, I had to pre-plan everything else. I had to pre-book everything else. And now I'm just SOL because I didn't do that. I didn't have enough options, all right? So number 2 is going to be space fillers, okay? I know a lot of you guys don't really know what this means. This is kind of like a new term that I came up with. And a space filler is basically when you're on a trip and you realize that you have like a gap between activities, but you don't want to go back to the room. You don't want to just sit around. Maybe it's bad weather outside, so you can't just like hang around outside. You have to find something to do in that space between your next activity, right? So a clear example of this would be, let's say I go on a winery tour from 1 to 3 o'clock, but let's say I don't make dinner reservations until 8 o'clock, right? So surely between 3 and 8, I can maybe take a shower and get ready for dinner, but that still leaves me about 3 hours where I don't have much to do, right? So a space filler would be like, hey, well, let's go check out this rooftop that is having a comedy night or something like that, right? There you go, you hang out at this comedy night on the rooftop, maybe you have a drink or two, and then you go ahead to your dinner, right? Or maybe you're in Florida, you're on the beach, you guys have hung out on the beach all day, and then you're planning on I don't know, going to a music festival later on that night. But between hanging out on the beach, taking a shower, and going to this music festival, you have about 2 hours to kill. Maybe there's a museum you can check out. Maybe there's an art district you can walk through and check out. Maybe you can hit a happy hour somewhere. These are all space fillers. So it's basically that 2 hour, 3 hour gap that you have in between activities that you need something to kind of plug in, but you don't want it to be like a full blown activity, not something that's going to take too long, too much of your time, be too far away from your destination, but something that is going to occupy that 1, 2, 3 hours that you have in between. Okay. Number 3, indoor and outdoor activities. This is important. Even when you're in a really nice, warm, tropical place, you have to remember heat drains people. And as much as I love me some heat, you guys, I can bake like a rotisserie chicken in the sun 24/7. But it does take a toll on your body, and it also takes a toll on your energy, okay? So you do want to make sure you have a few different options for activities, okay? So maybe let's hang out on the beach today and let's do a snorkeling activity, or let's take a catamaran ride, or let's do parasailing. But then after that, let's do an indoor rum tour where we can kind of relax, cool down, chill, get out of the sun for a bit. Or let's say we are in the mountains, we're on a cabin trip. You guys, let's go skiing. Let's have fun outdoors, but at the end of the day, we gotta warm up. We gotta make sure we're not frostbitten. We gotta make sure we don't get hypothermia. So now let's take it indoors. Let's do a fun game night, or let's cook dinner together, whatever it may be. So make sure you have a balance, because as much as we love outdoor activities or we love indoor activities, and let's flip the script, right? For my people that love to be inside, at the end of the day, you are paying your money, right? So you wanna get out a little bit, right? You don't want to just sit in that Airbnb or that hotel room 24/7 and just waste up your time. Get some vitamin D, get some exercise, get some fresh air, right? So make sure you have a way to kind of alternate your activities so that you are able to rest up, get your energy back, maybe cool down or warm up, but also have fun and explore and get that fresh air, get those limbs moving, and have some fun outdoors, okay? Number 4, make sure you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner options, okay? Let me tell you why this is important. It may sound obvious, right? Because you're like, well, duh, I eat 3 meals a day. Of course, I'm gonna have breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. But no, you'd be surprised how many people literally travel and they only list the places that are like the hot spots, right? Like I've mentioned plenty of times on my channel, TikTok is doing a number on travel, and that's a good thing. It's really allowing businesses to get a ton of different patrons. It's really allowing them to make a ton of money. Like, they damn near have free promotion at this point, right? You just gotta make the business and people are gonna promote it for you. So that's awesome. But at the same time, I think people kind of forget, well, let me plan for that night after drinking when we're coming back home. What's a quick pizza spot, or what's a quick burger spot? Or let me plan for breakfast in the morning after that drunk night out, or after, you know, we stayed up all night, right? We got to find something to eat in the morning. So a lot of people are listing these like super aesthetically pleasing, awesome dinner spots, or maybe bars, or maybe rooftops, but they're forgetting about the solid core meals such as breakfast and lunch, right? Aside from being on a really fancy rooftop and vibing and sipping the finest, cutest, most aesthetically pleasing drinks, you still gotta get some substance in your stomach. You still have to have a real full meal, right? So where are you guys going for lunch? It doesn't have to be the nicest place. Maybe you wanna go to a little side place and get some Haitian food, or maybe you want to stop at a mom and pop shop and get some fried chicken and biscuits, right? Make sure that you guys include these lunch spots, these after hour spots, these after the club spots, these quick little marketplaces, and these breakfast spots into your itinerary, because you are really gonna be bummed when you wake up in the morning and you guys are scrambling, rushing, trying to find a place to eat. It ends up not being to your liking, and maybe you're waiting in a really long line. Maybe you guys can't even get in because you were required to make reservations in advance. Maybe it's a really popular spot and the seating's just not that good once you guys realize you want to go there. Plan ahead, okay? Do not forget breakfast, do not forget lunch, and do not forget those little quick stops that you want to make in between, okay? And number 5, a learning activity, okay? So I know a lot of people travel differently. I know some people travel just to turn up and have fun. Some people travel just to relax. Some people are traveling for business, whatever. But for me, I say, I'm sorry, my voice has been cracking this whole video. For me, I say that you should always incorporate a learning activity, because when you go places, you don't know if you'll ever go back. I know we like to think like, what's a flight to Miami? I can go there every weekend, right? But in reality, maybe you're gonna go another 50 places before you end up back in Miami. And you wanna be able to say, yeah, I went to Miami. Oh, really? Well, what do you know about it? Or what did you learn? Or what did you explore? What did you go see? And you can literally chime in and say, oh, well, I checked out this historic art museum. Or, oh, I checked out this historic slave site. Or, oh, I went to this library that so-and-so established. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you intertwine a learning activity, because not only can you walk away saying that you learned something about the place that you visited, but it's also an experience. You guys, travel is all about experience, knowledge, and soaking up what that place has to offer. It's not all about turning up. It's not all about clubbing. It's not all about taking cute pictures. Make sure you learn something about the place that you visit when you're there, okay? And those are my 5 tips for what a great itinerary should include. You guys, please check me out on Instagram at Itinerary T, where you guys can find way more travel tips, way more itinerary tips, and most importantly, I can create your very own customized travel itinerary for your next domestic trip, okay? I'll see you guys soon. Toodles!